Our second lesson for time is equivalent periods of time. So we're going to be comparing some time, and we're going to be using the analog clock. So we know that the analog clock has an hour hand and a minute hand, but we also need to understand that it has a second hand to measure the time, and it's usually red. Okay, so this time would be read out loud as 4:30 and 12 seconds, okay? Or 30 minutes and 12 seconds after 4. All right, so if we scroll down and look at these 4 different analog clocks, there's 60 seconds in a minute and 60 minutes in an hour. The clocks show how far the hands move for each length of time. We're going to start at 3 o'clock. 1 second elapses. That is the first dash, as well as 1 minute. But look, the red second hand is there, okay? And the second hand goes around the clock a lot faster than the minute hand, and definitely a lot faster than the hour hand. If we move here, it shows you 1 minute or 60 seconds elapses, okay? And you're going to learn what that word is in our next lesson. The second hand has made a full turn clockwise. So the second hand went all the way around, and therefore then the minute hand moves a minute, okay? And then looking at 1 hour or 60 minutes that elapses, the minute hand has made a full turn clockwise. So the minute hand moved all the way around the clock, okay, in order for us to move to the hour, 4 o'clock. All right. So we're going to talk about how many minutes in 4 hours. Okay, so we know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So 4 hours times 60 minutes is going to give us what? Well, when we did multiplication, you can take the 4 and the 6 and multiply those together first. 4 times 6 is 24. And then you just add the 0 on, okay? And let's see if I can fix my 2. There we go. So 4 times 6 is 24. We add the 0. So there are 240 minutes in 4 hours. We're going to be comparing here again. So it says Quinn spent 2 hours on her science project. Chad spent 200 minutes on his science project. Who spent more time? Well, sometimes it's helpful to make a table. So we made this table here to relate our hours to minutes. We know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. 2 hours would be 2 times 6, and we know that's 12, and add our 0. So 2 hours is 120 minutes. 1 second to fix that too. There we go. And we know that 3 hours is 3 times 6, which is 18, and add the 0. So 3 hours is 180 minutes. Okay, so 2 hours is 120 minutes. Now let's go over to step 2 to compare 2 hours and 200 minutes. So we know that 2 hours is 120 minutes, okay? And 200 minutes is 200 minutes. So the bigger number is 200. So 120 is less than 200, okay? So 2 hours is less. These don't like me today. Than 200 minutes. So who spent more time than who? Let's scroll up. It looks like Chad spent more time than Quinn on the project. All right, we're going to compare the length of a week to the length of a day. Come over here and just check out this equivalent time table. We know there are 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week. There's about 4 weeks in 1 month, There are 12 months in the year. And then we get to some pretty cool ones. There are about 52 weeks in 1 year, and there are about 365 days in 1 year. There are about 30 days in 1 month. All right, so for this, we're going to use the number line below to show us the relationship between days and weeks. So we're going to use my pen to shade the week on the number line. So our week is from here to here, okay? So I'm just going to shade with red, right? That's our week. And then we're going to use a different color. Let's go with blue, okay, to shade a day. All right, so here is 1 day. So you see the difference there, okay? So we're going to compare the size of 1 week to the size of 1 day. There are 7 days in 1 week. So 1 week is blank times 1 day. 1 week is 7 times 1 day, okay? 7 times 1 is 7. Again, we're going to come down and we see different equivalent units of time. They just wrote it with an equal sign this time, okay? We're going to compare the length of a year and the length of a month using the number line and the model to help us. So as you can see, the year is here to here and a month is here to here. 1 year is blank times blank month. 1 year is 12 times 1 month, okay? Because there are 12 months in 1 year. All right, so if we go ahead to complete these here, we can use this to help us. 2 minutes is how many seconds? Well, we know 1 minute is 60 seconds. So 60 plus 60 is going to give us 120 seconds. So 2 minutes is 120 seconds. 4 years is how many months? Well, we know that 1 year is 12 months. So we have to do 12 times 4. So we can break that up and do 10 times 4 equals 40. Okay, and then 2 times 4 equals 8. And then when we add those two together, we get 48. Okay. There we go. So 4 years is 48 months. Okay. And we're just going to complete a couple of these and we'll be done with this lesson. So 3 minutes is how many seconds? Well, 3 minutes, we know 1 minute is 60 seconds. So what's 3 times 60? Well, 3 times 6 is 18, and then you add your 0. 3 minutes is 180 seconds. 4 hours to minutes, we actually did this above and we found out if we multiply 4 hours times 60 minutes, 4 times 6 is 24, and we add our 0. So 4 hours is 240 minutes, and 5 weeks is how many days? Well, we know there's 7 days in a week, so 5 times 7 is 35. 5 weeks equals 35 days. Okay, now you can move on to your last lesson on time called elapsed time, which is something we talked about in this lesson.